Have you ever thought about how perfection holds you back? This morning, I was talking to my team about perfectionism, and I started by asking them, to raise your hand if you've ever struggled with perfectionism. And there were many that raised their hand, me being one of them. And there were a handful that didn't raise their hand. And so I said, if you have a pulse, then you probably should be raising your hand because I think at some point we have all struggled with perfectionism at some level, right? And I shared with them how it wasn't that long ago, not too many years ago, that I believed perfectionism was the entry fee for success. And worse than that, if I'm being really honest, it was what was required of feeling worthy, right? Worthy of love, worthy of feeling just good about myself, good about life. And even though perfection promises confidence and feeling good, it actually delivered the exact opposite, right? It held me back, and frankly, it left me feeling worthless at times, certainly not worthy. And what's interesting is that at the time, I didn't know that's what it was, that was what I was feeling inside. I couldn't define it. It was just like this feeling that I had, and that was hollow, right? And I thought that I could just outwork it. I could just outwork those feelings, right? By winning more, by meeting bigger goals, hitting big milestones, right? Just achieving more and more. And yet, even after achievements and wins and hitting goals and milestones, right, I felt nothing or I felt empty. So, what did I do? I just moved on to the next big goal to chase, right? I thought if only I could achieve X, then I'd be happy, right? If I would just make this, then I would have made it. I would feel worthy. And I got to tell you guys that perfectionism, it's this vicious cycle, this roller coaster, high highs, low lows of a ride. And recently, I saw this clip from a great professional tennis player, super hunk, Roger Federer. And he was speaking to a group of recent graduates. And what he said reminded me of my own journey with perfectionism. And guys, what he said, man, it just stopped me cold in my tracks. And I just thought it was awesome and wanted to share it with others because I wish I could have not only heard this message years ago, but actually received it. And you know what I mean? The difference between like hearing a message and really receiving a message is a whole different ballgame, right? But to really feel it, to take it in, and to then take action on it. And what he said is that he had played over 1,500 single matches in his professional career, right? And he won nearly 80% of them, 80% of every game that he match that he played, he won, right? So you think on paper, wow, that is dominance, that is mastery, right? One might even say that is damn near perfection. And then he asked the crowd, okay, what percentage of points do you think that I won, right? If I won 80% of all my matches, what percentage of points do you think that I won? And there were lots of guesses from the crowd, right? They're like, 80, 90%, right? And he smiled and he says, actually, that he only won 54% of all points that he ever played. Just 54%. And you think, wow, like how could that be? One of the greatest athletes in history lost almost every other point that he played. And then he broke it down so simply. He said, when you lose that often, you learn not to cling to anything, right? You get a double fault. Okay, 1 point gone, right? You hit it into the net, out of bounds, fine, 1 point gone, right? And then he said the opposite, right? Even the highlight reel that ends up on ESPN, that one great shot, right? It's still just 1 point. And then he said a line that I just can't get out of my head. And he said, when you're playing a point, that point has to matter more than anything. But then once it's over, it has to stay over. And I thought, wow, right? That landed so hard on me, right? When you're in it, it's got to be the most important thing, right? It matters more than anything. But then once it's over, it's done. It's done. And it has to stay over. And I think about that mindset and how freeing, right? For you to show up fully for that next point, that next opportunity, that next patient, that next moment, that next conversation with your team, the next consult that comes in, your next leadership opportunity, right? And it made me think about, for years, I did the exact opposite, right? I dragged every mistake, every hard moment, right? Every failed hire, every loss, every impacted day into the next. And I let it define me. And it really kept me from leading the way I was capable, then performing the way that I was capable of. And worse than that, feeling just awful, empty, hollow. So breaking up with perfection can be messy, but I'll tell you, it was the most like freeing shift of my life. And here's what I finally learned, right? Is that you don't earn your worth by being perfect, right? It doesn't exist. You don't need a flawless month or even day for that matter, right? um, a flawless team to deserve that your success or to feel confident. None of that matters. None of that really exists. And that you actually build all of that by showing up for the moment in front of you, right? Giving it your best energy, your full attention. And then when that moment is done, right, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. So it really is about, one moment at a time, one patient at a time, one conversation at a time, right? That's how Federer became Federer, right? That's how you become a leader, the owner, the human that you're trying to be. So today, right, let's break up with perfection, right? It's been lying to you for years. Years it's been lying to you. So you know deep down, right, that you don't earn worthiness by getting everything right. It's just not possible, right? You build it by showing up for the point in front of you right now, right in this moment, and then letting it go. So here is your action step for today. I want you to pick just one. Pick one moment today and give it your full attention while you're in it, your full presence, full attention, and then release it when it's done. Let it go. Put it behind you, right? It has to stay done. Because remember what Federer said is he said, right, guys, it's just 1 point. And really that next point is where your power is. So your job isn't to be perfect, right? It's not possible. It's really to be present, just that one moment at a time. Okay. So I hope that helps if you're someone that has dealt with perfection or is currently dealing with perfectionism right now. I want you to go out there and go stack some wins, right? Just one moment at a time, and then reset and let go, let it be done. And look at the sun like coming in my office right now. And so I'll leave you with shine bright, right? Shine bright, just like the sun is coming in right now. And what a timely way for me to end this message to you and lead like